The day it happened didn't feel special. The sky was clear, the city moved on time, and faces passed by like pages flipping too fast to read. Everywhere you looked, people were smiling. Not wide smiles, not happy smiles, just enough to look acceptable, just enough to blend in. Screens glowed on every corner, reminding everyone what to think, what to feel, and when to feel it. Nobody questioned it. Nobody needed to. Except one man standing in the middle of the street, completely still. He wasn't angry, he wasn't sad, he simply wasn't smiling, and that absence felt louder than any scream. People walked past him as if he were invisible, but their smiles tightened for half a second when they noticed him. The city had taught them well. Smiling meant safety. Smiling meant belonging. Smiling meant you were normal. The man knew this too. That's why he didn't smile. Because the moment everyone smiles for the same reason, it stops being happiness. It becomes a signal, and signals are never innocent. No one remembered when the smiling started. There was no announcement, no law, no warning. It arrived quietly, like a software update that installs while you sleep. At first, it was encouraged. Smiling employees were promoted faster. Smiling students received better attention. Smiling citizens were described as well-adjusted. Slowly, not smiling became uncomfortable, then suspicious. Cameras learned to read expressions, algorithms learned patterns. A smile became proof that everything was fine, and if everything was fine, there was no need to ask questions. The man had once smiled too. He remembered practicing it in mirrors, adjusting the angle, timing it perfectly. But one day, he noticed something terrifying. People smiled even when nothing good happened. They smiled when prices rose, when freedom shrank, when choices disappeared. Smiles replaced conversations. Reactions replaced thoughts. The city didn't need force anymore. It had something better: participation. People enforced the system on themselves. The man stopped smiling the moment he realized the smile wasn't for happiness anymore. It was for permission. Not smiling didn't make the man a rebel. It made him lonely. Friends stopped inviting him. Coworkers avoided eye contact. Even strangers sensed something was wrong with him. He wasn't aggressive. He wasn't loud. He simply looked present. And presence made others uncomfortable. Because when one person refuses to perform, it reminds everyone else that they are performing. The man noticed small details others ignored. Identical reactions, identical phrases, identical laughter at the same moments. It wasn't coordination. It was conditioning. People weren't controlled by force. They were guided by comfort. Thinking had become inefficient. Questioning slowed things down. Smiling kept the system smooth. The man realized the city didn't fear anger. It feared silence and stillness. A quiet face made people think, and thinking was dangerous. So they avoided him, hoping his awareness wouldn't spread. But awareness doesn't need permission. It only needs one witness. And the man was watching everything. One evening, something changed. A child walking with her parents glanced at the man. Unlike the adults, her smile didn't lock in place. It faded, just for a second. Her eyes stayed on him longer than they should have. The parents pulled her away quickly, their smiles sharper now, more forced. But it was too late. The man saw it, and he knew the system had a flaw. Smiles could be taught, enforced, rewarded. But curiosity couldn't be erased completely. The system relied on speed, constant movement, endless distraction, no time to stop, no time to notice. That's why the man stood still. Stillness was his resistance. He didn't preach, he didn't warn, he simply existed without the mask. And that existence planted questions silently in the minds of others. Not many, just enough. Because systems don't collapse from explosions. They crack from quiet doubts spreading unnoticed. By morning, the city looked the same. People smiled, screens glowed, everything worked perfectly. Except now, the man noticed something new. A few smiles arrived late. A few eyes lingered longer. A few steps slowed down. The system hadn't failed, but it had been seen. And once something is seen, it can never return to being invisible. The man didn't feel victorious. He felt calm. He understood the truth most people never reached. Freedom doesn't start with rebellion. It starts with refusal. The refusal to pretend. The refusal to perform happiness on command. The refusal to trade awareness for comfort. Everyone smiled because they were told it meant safety. One man didn't, because he understood the cost. And somewhere in the crowd, others were beginning to understand it too, quietly, slowly, just like the smile had begun.